Good evening. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. What about you?
Yes, I'm also doing very well. Thank you. Still very cold in your place.
Yeah. It's actually it had been raining yesterday, so even today it might rain.
So here it might rain for a different reason. That's the heat. And there it
Okay.
may rain for a different reason.
Yes.
In North India, of course, there's a heat wave. You must be aware.
Yeah. Now I am having the news about different parts. They are experiencing this heat waves, but not at my place. It is still cold. It is still chilling.
Do you have vacations in school?
No, we don't have vacations.
Okay.
Our vacations mostly scheduled in between July to August somewhere.
July to August. Okay. Your topic today is about. Uh, did you have a look?
Yeah, I went through the topic.
What you would want your younger self to know. Okay, so before we go into that, let's talk about, when you were a kid, what was
Yes.
your idea of growing up? What did you imagine growing up would mean?
I was having different type of dreams when I was kid. I always thought about to become something like different person, the way elders were behaving, sometime in a good manner, sometime in a bad manner. So I just want to filter those things and then want to let my
Wanted,
life.
wanted.
Yeah, then I wanted to let my life accordingly. So that was the first thing which was there in mind. But being a child, we were not aware of many things, what it should be, how it is going to be better. So there were those type of things, and which we never been able to find out at that time. But now, if I look back and see that what it was, so yes, with the innocence of child, there were many things that I tried to extract from that. That the innocent mind always want that we should have the things that we like only. We hardly bothered about what rest of the world wanted from us. Yeah.
So, did you imagine yourself as, a very powerful person or as a very rich person or as, what kind of superpower did you imagine you would have when you would grow up?
I was always of think that opinion that maybe in future I'm going to become a rich person, and it was not uncertain. It was something like 101% certain that I'm going to do this, whatever it's going to happen. But yeah, after the time that the time passes, and then thereafter you come to know that is how hard the life is. Only then we come to know the reality.
Yeah, so it's quite ironical that when you're a kid, adulthood looks like the most, most enviable stage of life, and you're kind of eager to grow up
Yes.
and become an adult. So when you grew up, okay, what was the stage at which you felt that okay, now I have grown up? Was there any moment in the past when you felt okay, today I have grown up?
Yeah, I think after the marriages of my sisters, and within 2 or 3 months, I can say that when everything I had to complete at that moment. So, yeah, that made me realize that now it's a time to do everything by yourself, and you are in a world now, you already grew up, and you have to take the responsibility on your shoulder.
on your shoulders. Young age is about immaturity, and growing up is about gaining maturity, right? So some people become mature in a natural process. Some people grow up overnight because of some incidents. It's like they're forced to become mature. And some people are privileged enough to stay innocent for a longer period as compared to others. So which one were you? Did
Uh,
you mature in a natural process? Did you mature overnight? Or did you have the privilege of staying innocent for longer?
I can say I'm just a mix blend of all these because of the reason. The first is uh, as far as the overnight is concerned. So I think when I was in my first job, and it was something like a dream for me to go in that school and establish myself. First of all, to enter in that school, that was my dream. And after entering there, I got a position. That was something the dream like true becomes true. So this was the second thing. But when the responsibility, they starts taking towards you, staring towards you, or are looking at you for everything. So at that moment, you come to know that yes, it is not only the chair that you needed at that time, but now the responsibility that you will have to fix the problem, whatever it is. Now it is your responsibility. So at that time, this overnight shift of maturity that dawned upon me within the week, I can say, after holding that chair. But after that, the child, that innocent child, that was always there, who never wanted to play any trick with any employee, whosoever was there in my that group. So all my colleagues, whatever they try to do, maybe sometimes we don't have every person's with the same mind. Some people think that they are much.
Diverse. There's a diversity in terms of
Yes, yes, yes.
characters and behavior.
Yes, so they have those diversities that we find everywhere. So these they tried the leg pullings and everything, but I never reflected all those things back in that way. That innocent child was there in my heart, and I just picked those things that I know that without becoming biased, I do in that way. So that was my way to work. And ultimately, what I have found that most of my critics in that institution, they found themselves dumbfounded after some time because they know that this person, if it is not the best, but at least he knows what he has to do. So that's the reason why then they have started, you know, when you become
Like you
principal
have a mind,
teacher.
you have a
Yeah,
mind of your own,
yes, yes,
and you will not
and
be influenced.
right. And I was approximately 32 years at that time when I was promoted to that post. So, yes, there were many other colleagues of mine, those who were 4 year, 10 year, or maybe 15 years elder than me. They have much more experience in the field. But somewhere, this reason or any other reason, they fall short to
They
get promoted.
fell short.
Yeah, they fell short to get promoted. So ultimately, yeah, these things that came to me also in that way, the innocence, if I have to talk about.
Right. So it was a blend of continued innocence at the time and growing maturity. Like as innocence, your naive, your naive character was on a decline, and your maturity was uh, climbing uphill. So it was
Right,
a
right.
smooth, kind of a smooth transition. Okay, so I typed some words related to the topic. Are they visible in the chat box?
Yes, they are visible.
Okay, so we'll discuss the words. Along with that, we'll discuss the situations. What's the
Okay.
first word?
Resilient.
So, how can you use it in this context?
I never, accepted that I am not being able to do these things, and I bounce back every time. So I was resilient person who love to do the things in that way.
Okay, so as you said, people tried to trouble you. They tried to maybe hinder your path. They tried to
Right,
pose hindrances in your path, but you stayed resilient. You also showed them who you are, right? Okay, the
right.
next one.
Disillusionment.
Yes, what does it mean?
Uh, that that means that they were not aware. Means they are having something different in their mind.
Okay, so when the illusion breaks, like as children, we live in a dream world, or we may
Okay.
have some illusions. Disillusionment is when reality
Yes. Yeah.
dawns upon, like you said, it dawned upon me. All of a sudden it dawned upon me. You use this expression, dawned upon me. So that phase, or that moment when reality dawns upon you and your illusion is that bubble bursts, that is disillusionment, right? So how will
Right.
you use it? Generally, it is a little negative because it's not like learning something. It's like your dream world is shattered.
Yes.
Reality shatters your dream world, so you feel a little upset. That is disillusion. So at what point did you feel that?
There were many times, yeah, there were many moments in my life. One, as I mentioned, and now I can say the second one after the marriage of my sister, as I told you, because I was the I was someone like who was pampered in my whole family, and after their marriage, all of a sudden, this disillusionment gone in such a way that yes, the world is different, and even your own relatives, your kith and kin, they will not be able to stay with you for a longer period of time.
Or they may not stand by you.
Yes, all the time. Yes, they will not.
So my family was, my dad had a transferable job. So we used to
Yes,
go to our hometown during summer vacations. Every year in the month of May, we used to spend 30 days in our hometown, and that was a village from where my dad belonged. So whenever we used to go for summer vacations, we used to be treated like VIPs, and my dad was treated like he was God, because he had a government job. In those days, sarkari naukri was.
yes, 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 yes,
And then my dad was so impressed with the way his relatives behaved with him, so he took a decision that after retirement we would settle in the village. So he did not make any retirement plans. We moved to our my grandfather's house in the village, and then I saw the real face of my extended family members. So that was the moment of disillusionment. So from the level of God, after
yes.
retirement, suddenly he was a common man,
Right,
and
right.
we were not VIPs anymore. So for me, that was the disillusionment.
Yes.
Okay, the next word.
Emotional regulation.
So this means when you have enough maturity to have control on your emotional responses. Like as children, we are not much in control of our emotional responses. But growing up is also about emotion, learning to regulate your, like a fan regulator.
Yes.
So you also
Very
learn how
essential.
much and how less, you
Yes.
know. So do you remember any incident of emotional regulation?
Yeah, it was about my college time when all of a sudden, the first time I got stuck that all the students of my senior sections they were there, and I was with my cousin brother,
Hmm.
to whom I was thinking as a shield of mine.
Hmm.
But then all of a sudden, I came to know it was he who sent them
Hmm.
for my introduction, and maybe sometime something like of a ragging,
Ragging.
we can say. Yeah. So he was there, uh, and he just took a turn and he went away, showing showing me that he was not involved in that. And all his friends they came towards me and they started in asking about everything. So then I started. First of all, I was just trying to tell them that is he is my brother, this that. But then I came to know that is all these things they are not going to work. I just have to take my own stand, and then I replied them by focusing on myself, and I replied them whatever they want to know from me. So, yes, I regulated my emotions in that periods. First of all, I was somebody who was thinking only that he will be here in a moment. It's going to help me, and but then again I came to know nobody's going to help you here also.
Right. So it's a matter of seconds, in a few seconds you regulated your emotions.
Yes, yes.
Right. Okay. One correction. When we say in English, we don't say cousin brother, we say cousin.
Okay,
It is only cousin, no brother sister, because they don't have brother sister.
right.
In their culture, they don't have, like we say, chachera bhai. For them, it is cousin. So,
Yes,
so they say he cousin or a she cousin.
right.
Yeah, he cousin, she cousin, or just plain cousin. And then when you say he, it will be understood that it's a brother. So we have, this is an Indian version, cousin, brother, cousin, sister. We have suited to our culture.
Right.
Okay, the next word.
Pragmatism.
Hmm. Pragmatism means
Something who is very practical.
practical. Yes. So when was the pragmatism phase of your life?
I think pragmatism it started after 10th onward. So I was very practical because I was aware that whatever is there, just like you mentioned that your father was in a government job and you were treated as somebody like God is coming from somewhere. So same was the case with me. At when I was in 10th standard, my father was a government employee. But I was told by one of my teacher that all the employees, whosoever, when they are in their job, only then they are going to be treated as whatever they are. The honor they get only when they have a chair. And the moment they lose these posts, and they becomes very common. And in some cases, even down to that. So this is what happened in the society. So don't go with that particular post of your friend, of your father, of your brothers, whosoever it is. Be practical and accordingly approach to towards your study and do your works accordingly. So I realized uh, those words, and I never thought about in that way. Even my father, he got retired after 5 or 10 years. After that, because I was the smallest child of my
Youngest.
youngest, I can say, yeah, I was the youngest. So there was a lot of difference between the age difference, and I think within 4 to 5 years he retired. So yes, I was very practical. I was aware that I just have to do whatever in this study, only then I will be able to reach somewhere.
Right. Right. Okay. Next. The next word is naivete. Naivete.
Naive, sorry,
Yeah.
naive.
So it means the same as knave. So it is a knave is an adjective, and
Yes,
naivete is the noun. So it's like naiveness. To be naive is naivety. So, what is the most innocent moment you remember? Like, you were not very young, but you were very innocent compared to your age.
It may be, I think, when I was with my friends, and again, one of my cousin, I was in a marriage, and all of a sudden, my friend told me that he is here to see a girl. So he was thinking about his marriage. So that was the reason. So I went with them because he forced me to go there because they want to meet, and
Peer pressure.
their parents already intimated both the parties that they are going to meet. So I was there. I was sitting with them. Then all of a sudden, this my cousin, he just asked that he just want to drink water. So he went outside the room, but I was sitting there. I was like that. He hadn't given me any kind of a hint that we just have to leave now because they both are going to meet. So let them
Yes.
be there. And I
Strategic,
was sitting
strategy.
there,
That
and
was
then I was just waiting for the tea or something else that they are going to give me. So when I look back for that incident, it always, I always burst out laughing, every time that I was there and I was sitting there, and I was not, going outside, and they both were sitting there, and they were not able to, talk with each other
they,
openly. So
they were
after,
uneasy.
yes, after some time, I think when we started, eating something, then I realized that my that cousin, he just said that he's going for 1 minute, but he's not coming back. What's wrong with him? So then, first of all, I thought that there may be something that he may be outside, and all of a sudden somebody just met him, and that's why that may be the reason. But then, all of a sudden that came to me. Oh, I am sitting